I was caught in the middle of a railroad track. Looked around and I knew there was no turning back. Sound of the drums beating my heart. The thunder of guns tore me apart. You've been thunderstruck, thunderstruck. You've been thunderstruck.
Alrighty then. Looks like we got some hawks flying around above the airport. Which I don't care for, but maybe they'll stay out of the way. Alright, here we are at the business end of runway 18. We'll pull over here in the run-up area. We'll do us a nice thorough run-up, being that this is the first one post-annual. Now these guys, for those of you who have been on Pilots of America and have been involved with me some on this vibration issue that I've had here in the plane, even though I did have it balanced back in April, I did have the prop balanced back in April, and he brought it down to a 0.10 IPS, which is pretty good, I think. These guys were able to put their equipment on it, and just here it is a few months later, and they were getting like a 0.38 IPS on the propeller vibration. So they balanced it on down a little better. They added some weights in different spots and really spent some time on it, and they got it down at the lower RPMs. They got it down really low, 0.0. I can't remember the numbers without pulling my logbooks back out, but 0.0 something all through the power range, except for at wide open throttle, it was a 0.14, I think. However, we don't use wide open throttle for very long. I'd be really a little more concerned, I think, with the cruise vibration, because that's what I'm going to feel most of the time. When that engine's working hard at wide open throttle, I kind of expect it to have a little more vibration. I think that's acceptable. So we're going to run this machine up, and I'll kind of talk you through it instead of skipping it like I normally do. In this 62 Cessna 182, we do our run-ups at 1700 RPMs. We'll bring it up. There's 1700. This engine feels a little bit smoother to me already. Alright, we'll check our mags. I go left first, and I get about 100 RPM drop, acceptable. Back to both. Right mag, same amount of drop, perfectly acceptable. Back to both, and it's back up to 1700. Carb heat, we'll pull carb heat, and it usually gets me about 75 to 100 RPM drop as well. That looks good. And now we will pull our cycle our prop a little bit, a couple of times. Give it a good yank. We're looking for our manifold pressure to go up and our RPMs to go down. And that's what is happening.
Stage traffic 176 Bravo Lima is about 5 miles to the northwest inbound for touch and go, so only 1 center right stage traffic.
Alright, that looks good. We're looking at our suction gauge. Looks like we're making plenty of suction. And looking at our gauges, oil pressure's in the green, oil temperature is in the green. We know we got fuel, I just topped off. That should be good for the run up. We'll bring it back down to idle. Alright, satisfactory. Alright, put my fuel tanks on both. Check my trims. Trimming for takeoff there. All the knobs pushed in, except for the throttle, obviously. Alright, now just a quick. Don't get on to me now about the checklist. I'm going to pull it out. I do my thing and then I pull it out, just make sure I haven't missed any. Alright, we're ready to go. So we are on the right frequency. And let me go. Transponder on. And Chickasha traffic Skylane 3323 Yankee, ready for takeoff on runway 18. And I'll just stay in the pattern for a couple of laps. Chickasha. Nobody's coming, but he's out here on the runway. Got about
traffic 176 Bravo Lima, about 2 miles straight in final for 1 center right stage traffic.
That's for page traffic. It's a few miles up the road. Alright. Here we go. There's full throttle. Went to red line, making good power. 60. 70. There's 80. And we are off. Climbing out at about 100 miles per hour. And we're getting about 1,200 feet a minute. Alright. I'm gonna throttle back. RPM first. Manifold pressure first, excuse me, down to 23. 2450 on the prop. There we go. And we are at pattern altitude on on our initial climb. So I want to go ahead and throttle it back a little. Chickasha traffic, Skylane 3323 Yankee is going to turn to downwind for 18 Chickasha. That's a left downwind at Chickasha.
Stage traffic 176 Bravo Lima, short final 1 center right stage traffic.
Alright, so we're just going to make a cruise around the pattern here real close to the airport. Just make sure, again, that everything's good. Post-annual. I don't want to get too far from the runway here. Just in case they forgot to put something back together right and it falls apart. I want to be able to glide back to safety. surprisingly bumpy today. It's real nice and smooth, I thought. Figured it would be anyway. Good to be back in the airplane, though. I do apologize to the few subscribers that I do have. I've really been not making videos like I should. Got a lot of ideas for good videos, and have some stuff filmed, but man, I've been so busy. I haven't got around to it, so you're gonna have to settle for this one today. Not much humor in it, but it's a ride along nonetheless. I'm in an airplane and you're watching an airplane video, so that's better than most alternatives. Chickasha traffic, Skyline 3323 Yankees on the left base, about to turn final for 18 Chickasha. I'm just going to do a semi-low pass and then depart out to the southeast Chickasha.
Traffic, 146 down window, right cross, 110 right, this traffic.
I wouldn't even call it a low pass. I'm just a pass. Way high, just like I said, staying close to the airport.
Base traffic, 176 right downwind, 110 right, touch and go, base traffic.
Chickasha traffic, Skyline 3323 Yankee over the field now. I'll just make a left turn out here at the end of the runway and depart the area again to the southeast, Chickasha. We're getting pretty close to Lindsay here, so I'm going to start losing some altitude. Getting bopped all over the place today. I got to fly over this river pretty much all the way home. It goes through both towns, so. And I know it appears flat to those of you that actually have mountains and stuff, but it is fairly hilly right in through here coming off the river bottom. So we do get some winds, coming up off of these, small plateaus. They're not much, but it's enough to stir the wind up when you're down low. All right, we're at 2,900. We'll go down to about 1,900, so we'll lose another 1,000. Before we get there, get her slowed down and configured for a beautiful landing. I shouldn't have said that though. Better knock on wood. And Lindsay traffic, Skyline 3323 Yankees, about 5 to the northwest. I'll be inbound for landing on 19er, and I will pass midfield at pattern altitude, join left downwind. Lindsay.
Guns Memorial traffic, Skyhawk 90196 Whiskey is about 5 miles to the northwest, planning on crossing midfield at 2,700 and then doing a 2,003 for the left downwind, runway 18 for a full stop taxi back, Guns Memorial.
Man, it feels good to be up here. I had flown in a couple of 3 weeks. We've had a lot of rain here lately, a lot of overcast skies, and that coupled with the annual just hadn't been up in the air much. So this feels good, even though it's bumpy as all get out. All get out. That's a redneck term. I don't know if other people use it, but pretty much means a lot. It's bumpy a lot. Alright, we'll get a look at this windsock on the way by. No AWAS here, so always good to check. Those of you that know me have probably heard my story about the day. The wind changed 180 degrees and about 30 miles an hour in an instant. And looks like the wind is calm. So we can probably go any way we want to. Alright. So I'm just about slowed down here to flap speed. We're at pattern altitude, just a tad below, which is fine with me. And
Lindsay traffic, Skylane 3323 Yankee, turning left downwind for 19er. It'll be a full stop, Lindsay.
there's flap speed. We'll go ahead and pull some carb heat. It is a Cessna. Go 10 flaps. Or thereabouts. And pitch for about 90 to begin with here. Go ahead and turn base. Grab 20 degrees old flaps. We'll just keep coming around here. Get 30 flaps. And I'm looking for about 85 at this point. That's miles per hour again. And easing down to about 80 miles per hour. And we're about 75 over the fence. I'm chopping some power. Oh, I bounced a little. That's about how it goes when you got it on camera. Looks like we got some little bit of crosswind there I wasn't expecting. No big deal, but hey, that's a pretty decent landing. I used a lot more runway than I like to, but those speeds I was calling out, that's you know, those were a little bit fast. That's certainly no, you know, max performance landing or short field or anything. You know, we're stopped and turning around and I don't know, 2,000 feet, something like that. So you know, so it's an in-betweener. I was shooting for, to be honest with you, I was shooting for smooth to show off a little on camera. I was shooting for a smooth, smooth landing, which usually means, you know, a little bit faster there, and you know, carry the plane a little further down, and you know, so we're not descending really steep or anything. But that didn't work out. I floated and then I bounced it because I didn't hold my flare long enough. Nevertheless, we are down safe on the ground in Lindsay, Oklahoma. That's 1 Kilo 2, home of Okie Flyer, your redneck pilot. And folks, I promise you, here before too long, I'm gonna get some good videos out for you, some funny stuff. I got some ideas. So be looking forward to those, and if you like this kind of thing, just go ahead and subscribe, and you know, keep me there until I come up with something funny to watch, which hopefully is real soon. So appreciate you riding along with me from Chickasha, Oklahoma, back to Lindsay, my home. We're gonna tuck this old bird back in the hangar, let her get a good night's rest, and we will see you next time.